Hey, it's the Fact Freak. How's everyone doing? Are we ready for this? This is Sasha Fontain and it's Deep Dive Part 3. Now, of course, if you haven't watched Part 1 and Part 2, what are you doing here? Really just take some time out to go back and watch them. Really sets the scene here. Now, of course, since we last talked about the Bond villain, Sasha Fontain, she has really gone off the register. Just this afternoon, recording this on the 25th of the 4th, 2022, she's had another account banned. Now, why was that? Was it because it was unfairly mass reported? Or was it because she's harassing more people on TikTok? Let's jump into it.
The police and, outed all my medical history, accusing me of being a corrupt police officer.
Outed your medical history? What, because I said you pissed out of a stick?
Yeah, you're doing it again, Sasha.
That's not outing all your medical history, is it?
You're doing it again.
Wait a minute. You said I outed your medical history. I didn't.
Right. There's about 10 people knew that fact about me, that I have to self-catheterise after I got cancer. You also knew about the cancer because you played on one of your lives, Ruth, saying, yeah, Kerry did mention it in the in one of the group chats one day.
How long ago did you have cancer, Kerry?
17 years ago, praise the Lord, hallelujah.
17 years ago.
Yeah. Sorry,
17 years ago. But you didn't tell anybody that, did you? You started crying. You started crying on a live, going, making out that you had cancer recently, but it was 17 years ago. But
I want you to remember there what Sasha said. You went on a video or a live or whatever it is, cried, and made out like your cancer was recent. Just watch this.
Sasha just made an announcement on her live that Kerry pisses through her stick. She's got a stick up her fanny, skanky bitch. A tube up her fanny, skanky bitch. And that's how I have to piss. Anyway, I'm going to tell you about this, just to show you what sort of person she is. And she knows all this fact. I told you I was a police officer. I told you I got run over. Well, just after I got run over, I found out I had cancer. I'm not going to get upset over this because it's anger that I'm upset. No other reason. But after that, I found I had cancer in my back and I had a massive operation to remove the cancer. And this was like 17 years ago, something like this now. So it's a long time ago and I'm cancer-free now.
So that is the video that Sasha was referring to. That sounded to me like that woman was getting upset because of Sasha and her anger, as she said. She wasn't looking for sympathy. And when did she say she had cancer in that video? 17 years ago. She was not doing what Sasha had said in the live recently. Of course not. Once again, Sasha, you are caught lying.
Do you know her, Missy? But she's telling the truth. She did stink a piss. You bought my body wash on eBay. Oh, thank you, darling. Let me get eBay up.
Now at the side there, I have screenshotted that chat and the expressions on that woman's face as she enjoyed somebody bullying somebody in her live. Somebody who wouldn't have been able to make those comments and bully that person in that way without you disclosing that private information to try and shame somebody. You should be disgusted with yourself. But it couldn't get any worse than that, could it? Unfortunately, it can.
So I was in a live yesterday and some lady came in and said, have you met Barrel Cakes? I said, yes. She went, did she stink a piss? So I laughed and said, yes. So, moving on. So I'll tell you.
It's really weird how you wanted to just move on from the fact that you're acknowledging that you were being horrible about the woman online.
Band them, can't they? Like, bands on them, and I think they fall off. The doctor said they could do mine, but I might end up slightly incontinent. I'd rather have hanging out also. Johnny sees it, he's not bothered, he loves me, and that's that.
She then goes on to play this voicemail of a woman explaining a medical condition and a problem that she's going through. And somehow Sasha thinks it's weird that she would be talking about that with somebody at the time they were friends. Sasha then pauses it and says that she has messages and things that basically there's a sexual element to the piles between the lady in the voicemail and her partner, but showing no evidence, saying, I've got it, but I won't show it. This is one of the most disgusting videos I've ever seen made. And of course, Sasha Fontain even tried to throw me under the bus in the most ridiculous way I've ever seen. I mean, how could you do this to this guy? I mean, look at him.
You've got clean hands. So, just want to show you something. This was sent to me 4 days ago.
This man, James, was arrested in 2003 for a serious sexual assault. He denied all charges, but was found guilty.
Just saying.
Now, when I first saw this, I couldn't believe that Sasha would actually do this. But then I realised what an evil individual I'm dealing with. Now, I believe that Sasha Fontain actually doctored this and created this video. No such video was able to be found in TikTok, no matter how much it's been searched. However, I did recognise the image. I'll take you through it a little bit. And don't forget, I did do a response to this. It was one of my last videos on YouTube if you want to look into it. But yeah, let's break this down a little bit. Now, as I've been talking, you'll notice the image that I've put on the screen. If you go onto TikTok and you search TheFactFreak, this is the result that it will more than likely bring up. So it brings up the top results for that search. Obviously a list of my accounts and one of my, some of my most popular videos. If you look at the video that I've highlighted, it is the same one used in this video. Now, this is actually a screen recording that somebody put up on TikTok of a live that I did with Princess Flu. And it was right at the end of the live with Princess Flu where I was challenging Princess Flu over the fact that she could not provide evidence to clear her name in a charity fraud. You know what? I'm going to leave that notification sound in there. That one's for you, Sasha. I don't think I have to tell anybody on here how dangerous it is to spread rumour and lies about somebody intentionally, as she did. But she wasn't alone. Oh no. We also had one of Sasha Fontain's minions, Samantha Payne, saying here, could I possibly ask a question, please? How do you actually know all that's said about Sharon, as you call her, is true? Maybe they've watched the deep dives. And as far as TheFactFreak, have you ever looked him up? What is on Google about him? His first name is James. I think you need to Google him. I think you will be shocked when you read his background and how well he isn't liked in his hometown. People in glass houses and all that. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I Google James, it comes up with this rather underrated rock band. Now, of course, I couldn't be having things like this going on. So I did what I do best, and I looked into Samantha Payne through her Facebook. I found her family, I found her place of work, I found everything. And I let her know that I knew all of this. And if she was going to do these sort of things online, then she would be held accountable. And she didn't have long to apologise. And apologise she did. Somebody I know reached out to her. Eventually we had this apology. James, I do truly apologise for my actions and behaviour. I'm not going to excuse. I was wrong, and I know that I got on a roller coaster, so to speak. I didn't know how to get off and get caught up in it big time. I should have listened to Lisa weeks ago, but I thought it would all die down. But I can see it hasn't, and it probably never will. I just want to go back to my normal life, work, eat, sleep, repeat, and spend weekends with my friends and grandchildren. I am very sorry, I truly am. I hope you can accept my apology. If you don't, I completely understand. Yes, I am worried you will screenshot this and put it up on TikTok, but I'm hoping you won't. Now, that to me was a half-assed apology. I asked for an apology. I asked for an apology publicly about her and Sasha spreading rumours about me, very dangerous rumours. So I told the person who was messaging on my behalf to screenshot the exact message I put and send to her. You'll see in the other image. If she wants to do the right thing, she does it without hiding from people that she has apologised. I don't post things without proof. I hope this makes sense. So I've got to say I was conflicted, guys, whether I would just put this out here or not. And I spoke to somebody for some impartial advice. And they quite rightly reminded me that I don't owe this woman anything at all. And so there we have it, guys. I will say to Sam, if she has any issues or backlash over this, she knows how to get in touch, and I've said I would do my best to help her. Now, it appears on the last deep dive, I only barely touched the surface of Sharon's businesses. I struggled with whether I should call them businesses because they all fail miserably. They all end up being rip-offs. And just like most people who fail at a business and can't agree with the notion that they cannot do it, they just move from one to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other, and leave behind them a trail of unhappy people. Now, Langton's Catering was one of the first brought up to me, and I've got to say the idea of this woman catering for somebody's wedding or funeral terrifies me. Let's not forget the restaurant that she opened had a really poor hygiene record, noted that their faith in management was worrying. But I needed proof. Is this her company? Now, of course, on Sharon's Facebook, in her About section, she's literally plugging the business. It says it's a well-established company offering a friendly professional solution to all your catering needs. Interesting. You would think that somebody who had so many businesses to run wouldn't have so much time to spend on TikTok lives, but apparently Sharon can run many businesses and it not impact her life at all. Now, of course, I wanted a little bit more evidence because, you know, the information section of your Facebook, when was the last time you reviewed it? Maybe this is a company that Sasha owned and ran a long time ago. But here we are, 7th of April. I mean, this month, guys, she is promoting it. She is promoting it. Made some inquiries, and Lisa and Dermot say that they have taken over the business now and assured that they are qualified caterers and can cater for any function. Now, it's not surprised that nobody would want their business linked to Sasha Fontain, especially with her reputation. They said that Sharon sold me the business in January 2022. My husband and I are the new owners. We have been in the catering field for 4 years. We can cater your business now. My name's Lisa and Dermot. If we can help, please email, etc. However, we were confused because why is Sasha Fontain advertising for a company that she has nothing to do with? And they said, no, she's advertising us as she sold it to us. She has a full-time job now. That doesn't make sense, does it, guys? Let's face facts. So after some very short questions about Sasha Fontain's involvement with this business, they bring up that they can see the address of the person inquiring. Also mentioning the police in the same message seemed almost threatening for asking a few questions. And of course, if you've watched Deep Dive Part 2, you'll have seen that Sharon tried exactly the same tact when somebody was contacting her on her beauty website. This 100% leads me to believe that Sharon is still involved in this business. And in fact, it's pretty easy to run a business like this when it comes to Sharon. She runs a website and she books clients. She orders food and pays a couple of staff a day and probably marks her costs up because that's what she does best. If you've sold a business, why would you advertise to help that business? It makes no sense whatsoever. Looks like another business to avoid like the plague. Now, people should also be aware that Sasha Fontain is selling her marked up products on eBay. And she's doing what a lot of sellers do, getting friends and family to rate their items with no proof of purchase. Also, she has shut down accounts before as soon as she receives a negative review. Now, of course, in this review, they say they are a bit disappointed with the delivery time. It was supposed to be delivered by the 5th of November. I ordered it on the 30th of October. I messaged Sasha. She said she was waiting for stock to come in. Stock to come in of the products that she makes herself. Interesting. She said she was waiting for stock to come in, so I waited. It is now the 15th of November and still no perfume and no message saying sorry for the delay. Now, I would imagine this was the only way that person thought they could contact her was by leaving the review. Wow. Now, let me tell you about Haven House. Haven House supports local children and families from birth who are seriously ill and have life-limiting or life-threatening conditions. Well, that gives Sasha Fontain an idea.
23rd of May is the TikTok party in Romford. So the tickets are £5, and if you go over to PayPal and go on Sasha Fontain at outlook.com and go purchase your tickets there, I'll send them out to you.
And it didn't take long for those tickets to increase from £5 to £10.
Is in the know here. This is our charity event. We are going to do a charity night for the Haven Hospice in Woodford Bridge. I've dealt with these in Christmas, and as you know, all of you donated eggs, and it was amazing. So we've now raised 1,100 quid. We are now having a charity night, and we're having a buffet, entertainment, as you've heard, George and Steve at HPE. So all you need to do is a ticket only function. It's also a TikTok party. So all you TikTokers can meet me and a lot of other TikTokers that are going to turn up. So your tickets are £10. It's a ticket only event. And you go over to PayPal and you go to Sasha Fontain at outlook.com. So you'll get your buffet, entertainment. There's going to be a raffle. There's going to be some amazing prizes there. And we also need volunteers. So if you want to...
Now, of course, Sasha always says that this clip has been edited. Remember? This is how you first came across me, Sasha. We all heard her say that raised 1,100 quid, right? Well, Sasha doesn't seem to think so.
It's the 1,100 quid. And I said to her, it was never £1,100 because it wasn't. Prove it. I'm not going to put up. And it wasn't £1,100 as Wibble wasn't wobbles. We done in 2 nights 1,100 quid. And as you know, all of you donated eggs and it was amazing. So we've now raised 1,100 quid.
So yeah, you have now seen the edited version and the unedited version. It doesn't change the fact, does it, Sasha, that you said £1,100 had been raised. But then you got defensive and said you wouldn't explain or show or prove how much you earned for this charity. Why, Sasha? Surely you would want to have everything detailed. I mean, it's not like you're a bad businesswoman, is it? Oh, yeah, maybe that comes into play. You don't know how to do your books. Now, of course, you provided this letter in a way to clear your name over possible fraud, but all it did was open the door to more questions. In the letter it said, "I am writing to thank you on behalf of everyone at Haven House Children's Hospice for your recent fundraising event that was held in support of Haven House Children's Hospice. Thank you so much for your amazing fundraising, totaling £4,341. You see, on the night of the event, you stated you had raised £5,000. And then if you put together the £1,100, you know, the £1,100 that you never said, but we've already shown many examples of you saying, from the Easter egg money, and they raised the ticket sales to £10 each, raffle tickets and donations and PayPal, how does the figure of £4,341 make sense there? Long story short, it doesn't. Now this is a little section I like to call "The Camera Doesn't Lie."
Thank you. Are your products white label? And what if it wasn't? Do I look like I've got a fucking laboratory in my front room? Someone block that cunt. For you, a 3 whitening toothpaste. Ding, ding. So, as you know, I do use this toothpaste, despite what you hear on Tattle.
I don't make love.
I've had all my teeth whitened today. Fucking white, ain't they? Do I look like I fucking speak Albanian?
So guys, that is the end of deep dive number 3. Now when I set out to do these deep dives like every other, it's about raising awareness. And I just want to go through some of the comments that I've had across some of these videos. Somebody here saying, "I used to follow her because I felt sorry for her. But what she said about the lady who had cancer is beyond disgusting. The nail in the coffin was when she said what she said about you, without a shred of evidence." The next comment there at the top, "I thought she was a decent, honest person, but I clearly now see her for what she is." And then the final here, "I used to like watching Sasha, but with all the lies she tells and the people she falls out with, they all can't be wrong about her. She sounds like she enjoys the drama." And of course, that's just a handful of comments like this I've received across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere where I've done awareness videos of this woman. So when I say this is the final part, who knows? I have more people to focus on, and I hope you guys will be here to check them out too. Also, feel free to tell me in the comments who you think I should do a deep dive on next. I really appreciate all the support, guys. Without the support, without the likes, without the subscribers, without people sharing the video, recording the video, talking about the video, the awareness would not be as strong. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Peace.